Hi friends, I am Bimal, agriculture engineer. Today in this video we will discuss Coulomber method, hydrologic soil groups, EMC, antecedent moisture condition and hydrographs. For many exams like JRF, SRF, NET and other agri engineering exams. So let's come on Coulomber method. This method is also known as hydrologic soil cover complex number method. It is based on recharge capacity of watershed and recharge capacity is determined by antecedent moisture condition and by physical characteristic of watershed. And I come to next point is this method computes the runoff on basis of retention capacity of soil. And I come to next point is retention capacity of watershed can be predicted by using CN method. The CN method is defined by US Soil Conservation Service. This carbon formula CN is equals to 2540 upon 254 plus S, in which CN value varies from 0 to 100. CN value for most permeable soil surface is 0. That means if there is a most permeable surface, then there will be no runoff generation. So their CN value will be 0. Okay, and 100 for impervious or concrete surface. Means you can also note the CN value for steepy land will be 100. Okay, so come on, hydrologic soil group. There are four hydrologic soil group. First is hydrologic soil group A, hydrologic soil group B, hydrologic soil group C, and hydrologic soil group D. So first we should know hydrologic soil group A, in which a low runoff potential, because there will be low runoff low runoff potential means there will be impermeable soil surface, and in permeable soil surface high infiltration rate that is more than 25 mm per hour, and high rate of hydraulic conductivity, and well to excessively drain the water through sand and gravel. And I come to next is hydrologic soil group B. There will be a moderately impermeable soil surface, in which moderately low runoff moderate runoff potential, in which soil having moderate infiltration rate that is 12.5 to 25 mm per hour, and it consists of moderate deep to deep soil, and soil have moderate rate of water transmission. And I come to next is hydrologic soil group C. Actually moderately it include moderately high runoff potential and low runoff low infiltration rate, that is 2.5 to 12.5 mm per hour. It is a most important point for exam point of view. And I come to hydrologic soil group D, in which high runoff potential, that is there will be impermeable soil surface, and it has very low infiltration rate, that is less than 2.5 mm per hour, and soil consisting chiefly clay with high swelling potential, we can say. Now come to antecedent moisture condition. It is used as index of watershed wetness. There are three types of EMC, which are EMC first, EMC second, and EMC third. EMC first, antecedent moisture condition first, actually it has low runoff potential. That means that, and there will be impermeable means permeable surface. The watershed soil are dry enough for satisfactory cultivation. And now EMC second is average condition, that means not much wet condition or not much dry condition there. And now come to next is just third is high runoff potential. That means there will be no impermeable soil surface. What side is particularly saturated from antecedent rain. And now note the type of EMC is determined using 5-day antecedent rainfall. And I come to 4. Next is the formula for estimating peak runoff rate from large water set by Deakin formula and Rive formula. So now come to hydrograph. It is a graphical representation of instantaneous runoff rate versus time. The area under hydrographs gives the runoff volume. Runoff hydrograph are useful in structure measure and also study of hydrologic effect of an catchment area. And I come to next is hydrograph represent the total runoff which includes surface flow and subsurface flow. For small water side and subsurface component usually negligible. And I come to next is classification of streams. First is perennial stream and second is intermittent stream and third is ephemeral stream. So these points are also sometimes asked in exams, so keep in mind. So first we should know perennial stream. Actually it carrying the flow throughout the year, that is perennial stream with appreciable groundwater contribution. Okay. Now come to second intermittent stream means like one by one come, and it carry the flow only in a rainy season with limited groundwater contribution, because it actually it come in rainy season only. So and third is ephemeral stream. It carry flow due to rainwater only, or having rainfall with no groundwater contribution. Actually we can say easy to actually it cannot contribute the groundwater. Okay. So next is come to hydrograph. Actually the hydrograph is a plot of instantaneous discharge versus time, and it is also known as storm hydrograph or flood hydrograph. Okay. Hydrograph consists of three regions, namely like rising limb and crest, second is crest segment, and third is falling limb. This same. So this is a rising limb, that is this is crest segment, and that is falling limb. Okay. And this is inflection, upward inflection point, and this is downward inflection point. Okay. So first is rising limb. It is also known as concentration curve because it is increase gradually. Okay. And it is ascending portion of hydrograph due to gradually formation of storage in channel over the land surface of water side. And I come to second is this is crest segment. Actually this is crest segment, this crest segment. It is extended from point of inflection on rising limb to a similar inflection point of falling limb, and yet it indicate the peak flow rate. And now come to third is falling limb. It is also known as recessal limb. This is recessal limb, and it is a descending portion of hydrograph, that is descending portion, not ascending. Okay. And is extended from point of inflection at the end of the crest segment to commencement of natural groundwater flow, that is natural groundwater flow. The shape of falling limb completely dependent on water side characteristic. We can say that physical characteristic or water characteristic. Okay. So now come to a factor affecting the shape of hydrograph. There are two factors that affect the shape of hydrograph. First is climatic factors and second is physiographic factors. Actually in climatic factor, form of precipitation or rainfall intensity and rainfall duration, distribution of rainfall flow, and like direction of storm moment. Okay, so now come to next is physiography factors: shape of watershed, size of watershed, slope of streams, and density, like drainage density and land use, etc. Land use. And now come to unit hydrograph. Actually, uh, a sermon 1932 firstly developed unit hydrograph. Actually, this question is asked in many times in exams. Okay, whether a unit hydrograph developed by which scientist? Sermon 1932. Okay. So next is no, it is defined as the hydrograph of direct runoff, like resulting from inner depth 1 centimeter of excess rainfall. Eh, Okay, excess rainfall occurring uniformly over the basin. Actually, this question has been asked in many time in exams. Okay, so keep in mind. And unit hydrograph relate to rainfall excess, the direct runoff only. And now come to next is area of unit hydrograph represent the volume of direct runoff. This is most important, like and the volume of direct runoff resulted by unit depth of rainfall excess over the watershed. Now come to next is the rainfall intensity of a storm is equal to 1 by d for the storm of dr duration. Okay, so now come to next assumption of unit hydrograph. There are two assumptions of unit hydrograph. First is linear response and second is invariance. So both are assumptions are important for exam point of view. So okay friends, if you have any doubts, you can drop in comment box your doubts. So thanks, see you soon in next video.